Smile, Emma. 3 million are waiting. Is mom waiting for me when the camera's off? Do not start. Rachel's voice went glossy, the voice she saved for brand reads. Okay, sweeties, we're rolling in 5 Liam, hair. Emma, can you not look like a tax audit? The ring light hummed. Sacramento heat pressed against the windows. The AC coughed an apology and gave up. Our dining room was a set, backdrop flag taped to the hutch, fake balloons staged in a corner, a pyramid of neon cereal boxes. We didn't eat unless we were paid to smile next to them. The table was white and spotless, if you ignored the brown tape X where my elbows were supposed to go. Gabe, mom's boyfriend/manager, checked focus. Levels good. Comments on last video say your laugh is iconic, Ratch. Give them the cackle. Rachel fluffed Liam's hair and didn't touch mine. Okay, fam. Today we're trying the ultimate smoothie challenge, she chirped into the lens, dimples on command. If you spill, consequences. She winked. We all knew who was going to spill. It was in the Google Doc. Liam did his golden boy grin, the one that made strangers write, I wish I had a son like him. He's 12, gap-toothed charming, a magnet for ring lights. I'm Emma, 13. In our house, charming is currency, and I'm broke. 3, 2, Gabe counted. The red tally light blinked awake. Liam's first, mom sang. How's it taste? He slurped strawberry and oat milk. Fire. Yay, my baby. She squeezed his cheek. Okay, Emma Bear. She turned to me, sweet like frosting that's been left in the sun. You got this. Her nails on my shoulder were sugar pink and hard as coins. I lifted the blender cup. It shook my hand, not the cup. The script said Emma stumbles. The laugh track lived inside mom's throat. I did my line. Smells like a garden threw up. Say it closer to the mic, mom breathed. Project, honey. Be grateful. I tipped it. The bottom slipped from the condensation. The drink ballooned out, the way slow motion feels even when it's real time, and I watched purple threads of smoothie crawl down my hairline, cold and sticky. Somewhere a balloon in the corner bobbed like it was applauding. OHEMGE. Mom shrieked at the camera, pristine excitement. She failed. Consequences. Gabe zoomed in on my face. Hold, mom said flat, the candy voice switched off. Your eyes are dead, Reset. We need a clean pour for the thumbnail. The liquid pulled at my collarbone. A blueberry slid into my shirt like a stranger at a bus stop. I nodded. Liam looked at me with a pity that tasted like salt. He mouthed, sorry. Again, Gabe said. Slate. Mom had me step back into a towel. She blotted my face like I was furniture. We do not take a brand deal because you're moody, she whispered. If you want to eat these cereals you pretend to like, you show up. I breathed through my mouth so I wouldn't smell like fruit rotting. I am showing up. Then smile like it. We did it again. The smoothie obeyed gravity. My spine didn't. I smiled with all my teeth. I could hear the future comments. Emma's such a good sport, and Liam is so cute, and Rachel, I'm a single mom too, you're doing amazing. I could hear the ones we delete. Why does she treat the girl like a prop? Gabe deletes those in the first hour. Cut. Mom clapped. The clap was for the camera, not for me. We got it. Liam, rinse. Emma, bathroom. Don't drip on the rug, it's on loan. The bathroom mirror did not lie. My hair was a watercolor gone wrong. Blueberry skins clung to my ears. I peeled one off and pressed it to the sink until it bled purple, then scrubbed until the water ran clear and my scalp burned like a secret. I wrapped in a towel and sat on the closed toilet lid, breathing the mildewy smell of the shower curtain, the lemon cleaner that never quite beats Sacramento mold. Rachel's laugh leaked down the hallway, bigger, brighter, softer than the way she laughs with me. We nailed it, she told Gabe. The thumbnail will crush. In the mirror, I practiced the face people say I should have, grateful, quirky, not heavy. I pressed my mouth into a smile and watched how my eyes didn't follow. Liam knocked once and came in without waiting. We're a family that treats doors like suggestions. He handed me a clean t-shirt from his drawer. Use mine. Mom said we can't stain your cute one, Bran wants it in the family pic later. Thanks, I said. I meant it. He is a kid floating on air he didn't pump. It's not his fault the balloon keeps hitting me in the face. You okay? He asked, voice small. I shrugged. The towel shifted. The mirror caught the stoop in my shoulders. I'm fine. You're not, he said, and there it was, the thing I love and hate about him. He notices. He also never says it out loud where microphones live. Downstairs the tripod clacked. Emma. Mom sang. B-roll. Come to your, silly face. That one that gets comments. I have homework, I called. We homeschool, she said, rolling her eyes. We don't. We do, hybrid independent study, which in Rachel speak means freedom to shoot at 11 a.m. on weekdays. I put on Liam's shirt. It smelled like laundry pods were sponsored by. I wiped the mascara under my eyes with a cotton pad until I looked like me again, or a version of me I recognized enough to walk into. When I came back, the house had been reset to fun. Gabe adjusted the second ring light. Rachel practiced her line in front of the off-camera, the way people rehearse apologies they'll never give. "We're so proud of our little girl for being such a trooper," she whispered to her reflection. "Aren't we, Liam?" "Uh-huh," he said on cue. "We'll do a quick brand read," Gabe said, tapping the iPad. "Rachel, then you and Liam. Emma, pop in at the end with the coupon code. Smile." "Smile, Emma," Mom repeated, softer, almost fond, like the word itself could teach me how. We filmed the read. "Use code Rachel20 at checkout." I chirped. The code felt like a cut in my mouth. "Perfect," Gabe said. "We're clear." Clear means the show is over. Clear means real life resumes. Or what we call real life. "Ugh, my back," Rachel said, stretching. "Analytics at 3. Liam, DM your cousin from the San Jose collab." "Emma, can you tidy the backdrop?" "I have actual school," I said. "You can actual school after you pickle your attitude," she said lightly, thumbs already on her phone. "We're live on Wednesday. We have to ride momentum. Do you want to go back to mac and cheese from a box?" "Because I do not. We used to eat mac and cheese from a box. The blue one. It tasted like Thursdays and being safe." I took apart the balloons. My fingers smelled like latex and sugar. I stacked the cereal boxes we don't open unless there's a contract. The kitchen sink was a throne of stained smoothie cups and straws grown cloudy from too many runs through the dishwasher. I washed everything until the water went hot, then hotter. At dinner, we didn't have dinner. We had tasting 6 frozen dumplings microwaved for the camera because a brand sent them. Mom chewed and hummed like she was an orchestra. Liam said, "Tastes like the future." I said, "Tastes like the freezer." Mom laughed her big laugh, then looked at me the way people look at weather that ruins a picnic. After dinner, she scrolled through comments while I wiped the counter. "They love the spill," she said, energy stacking inside her sentences. "They're calling it Emma's epic oops. #genius. We're at 80,000 in an hour." "Great," I said. It came out shaped like a bruise. She looked up. "Hey." She softened her voice the way you do with dogs that scare easy. "You know I push because I know you can handle it, right? You're strong. What would you do if I wasn't?" I asked. She set the phone down, face closing like a book. "Don't make this a thing." "It is a thing," I said, surprising myself. My chest felt buzzy, like standing up too fast. "People think you love us the same." "I do," she said too quickly. "Just differently." "On camera," I said. Silence. Liam's fork scratched a plate that wasn't supposed to be on the table during non-filming hours. Gabe looked at the ceiling like the answer might be there. Rachel exhaled through her nose. "Emma, I grew this channel to keep us in this house. I'm doing my job. Your job is to be present." "Present means here," I said, touching my ribs. "Not on a thumbnail." Her mouth tightened. "Do not talk to me like a troll in my comments." I swallowed the next thing I wanted to say. The words in my throat tasted like metal. After cleanup, I went to my room, which is also a set sometimes. Fairy lights, plant on a stool, neutral quilt that photographs well. The window looks over a dry Sacramento street where kids ride bikes at dusk and dogs tug leashes towards sprinklers. My desk held the only things that don't get filmed: a chipped mug, 2 notebooks, a school Chromebook with a cracked corner, and my old iPod Touch that doesn't connect to our Wi-Fi because Rachel forgot the password. I keep it for one reason: the camera still works. I set the iPod in the spine of my books, angled toward my door. I hit record. The red square blinked, the only truth teller in a house full of tells. "Hey," I whispered to myself. "This is just in case. In case someone ever asks what it's like when the ring light goes off." My hand shook. I wasn't scared of punishment, not exactly. I was scared of no one believing me without a thumbnail caption. I slid the iPod deeper, buried under a stack of paperbacks. I opened my school notebook and wrote 3 lines. What I feel: sticky, cold, heavy. What I want: to be seen without a sponsor. What I'll do: record. I heard footsteps. A knock that didn't wait. Rachel opened the door and leaned on the frame. "We're editing. You want Final Cut?" "Do I get one?" I asked. "You always do," she said, as if that were true. "You were funny today. The blueberry on the ear, brilliant. That's the Emma people love." "I'd like them to love me when I'm not purple," I said. She blinked. For a second, her face was naked, no brand, no broadcast, just a woman my age plus 20 years, tired and scared of bills and algorithms, and the fact that her daughter knows what those words mean. She said, voice low, "don't make me the villain." "I'm trying." "Then stop writing consequences for me," I said. She studied me. Then the ring light from the hallway pinged, and the moment thunked back onto its tracks. She smiled, dimples on, and did a finger gun. 10 minutes. We need your end card. Thanks for watching. Okay, I said. She left. I pressed my palm to the notebook to make the pen marks sink deeper so they wouldn't fade if I had to flip the page fast. Downstairs, Gabe's laugh boomed like an audience track. Liam's voice rose, a bright ribbon. Can we keep the outtake where Emma trips? He asked. Of course, Rachel said. It's gold. I looked at the iPod's red light, tucked under paperback shadows, and imagined a playlist with no emojis, no epic, no oops. Just 8s. Clips. The truth of a kitchen when the camera clicks off. I closed my notebook and went downstairs to say thank you to 3 million people who don't know my real face yet. Again, Gabe's voice pinballed off the kitchen tile. We need a second angle of the spill. Rachel, you fake the gasp. Liam, hand her the towel slower. It's not funny twice, I said. It wasn't funny the first time, Rachel said sweetly, eyes glued to the analytics on her phone. It was viral. Different thing. The ring light throbbed in the corner. Sacramento noon came at the windows like a hot hand. The script open on Gabe's iPad said, Emma stumbles. Liam laughs. Mom comforts. There was a bullet point under my name. Cry if possible, adorable. I have algebra, I tried. My voice sounded like it was wearing someone else's sweater, too tight, itching. You have opportunity, Rachel countered. And we have a deliverable by 3. Let's go, team. Liam adjusted his hat, sponsored. Gabe lifted the camera. I slid my old iPod deeper between cookbooks on the counter, its camera peeking out like a hidden eye. I tilted a cereal box to hide the red dot. 3, 2, Gabe mouthed. The tally light blinked. Rachel's face became the face. Okay, fam. Today we're doing the flower rain prank, she trilled. Loser gets a surprise. Why is the loser always me? I asked. Because you're a star, she beamed without looking. Ready? I closed my eyes. The bowl tipped. Flour came down like an indoor blizzard. Soft, cold, everywhere. It filled my nose with old bakery air and made the room smell like someone else's kitchen. Rachel's scream was pitch perfect. Liam laughed on cue. The bowl clanged the counter. My eyes stung. Cut. Gabe said, euphoric. God, that's money. Rachel clicked back to her normal voice. You got some in your lashes, babe, she said to me, precisely kind, like a barista on a rush. She brushed my cheeks with 2 fingers. Can you do it again with a bigger flinch? Something in me folded up like a lawn chair. I have to go, I said. School. She frowned, as if the word were rude. Home at 3. We need B-roll. In person today, I said. Ms. Alvarez said if I miss one more advisory, I get detention. Rachel rolled her eyes. Alvarez is nosy. Text her a heart and tell her we had an appointment. With who? I asked. She stretched a smile across her teeth. With our future. By the time I got to school, the flower was a memory turned to paste at my hairline. The air in the hall was cool with pencil shavings and someone's minty gum. Kids moved in lanes, backpacks grazing my elbows. A poster for the fall concert peeled off the wall like a tired sticker. Ms. Alvarez found me before I found my locker. She didn't touch me. She's good at that. Hey, Emma, she said. Walk with me. Her office is a shoebox with a window and a plant that refuses to die. There's a watercolor of the Tower Bridge on the wall and a dish of butterscotch candies older than the school. She sat. I sat. She waited. How's home? She asked, finally. My mouth tried out a joke. It came out like static. We got a new ring light. How's Emma? She asked again. I looked at the carpet. It was the color of rain you only see in old movies. Sticky. Cold. Heavy, I said. I told her about smoothies and flour and consequences. About deliverables and codes and comments, the public ones and the ones that disappear. I told her about the Google Doc that lives in Rachel's laptop, where it says I should stumble and look grateful. I did not tell her about the iPod. That was mine. She took notes with a purple pen. What happens when you say no? Content doesn't happen, I said. And then I am the problem. I make us lose momentum. Who says that? My mom. Gabe. I swallowed. 3 million strangers. The strangers aren't in your kitchen, she said. Sometimes I think they are. I can feel them in the ceiling. She didn't smile. Do you feel safe at home? The word hung between us like a dare. I don't get hit, I said. Not with hands. Okay, she said. Thank you for telling me that. Do you have video of how this looks when the camera isn't aimed at the audience? My stomach did a drop. Why? I'm a mandated reporter, she said plainly. That means the state of California says, if I have reason to think a kid is being emotionally harmed, exploited, or neglected, I must tell Child Protective Services. That doesn't mean men in coats. It means another adult gets looped in to make sure you're safe. The more concrete my report, the better the help. And the faster. The word exploited snapped in the room. It sounded bigger than me. If I show you, will my mom find out? She will know I made a report, Ms. Alvarez said. She won't see anything you don't want her to. But I can't lie, there may be a home visit. A conversation. My job is to be on your side and to tell the truth. My hands were damp. I pulled my sleeves over them like mittens. The iPod was heavy in my backpack. I put it on her desk. It's old, I said. You have to jiggle the corner. She did, gently, like she was waking something that shouldn't be frightened. I showed her the clips. Rachel's cackle flipping off, the script on Gabe's iPad, the bowl of flour ready before I lost, Rachel's whisper in my ear, smile like it, the towel instructions, the part where I asked for homework and got a schedule. Ms. Alvarez watched without interrupting. When she finally looked at me, her face was all muscle. Thank you, she said. You did the right thing. You did nothing wrong. I don't want to blow up my family, I said. It came out small. Sometimes the smallest person in a family is the only one who can say, stop, she said. Would you like to be here while I make the call, or do you want to go to class and I'll update you after? I want to be here, I said. She dialed the Sacramento CPS line on speaker. The hold music was a piano that sounded like a waiting room. When a woman answered, Ms. Alvarez gave facts, names, our address, the video's timestamps, the words, pattern, emotional harm, commercial content, school impact. She read from a form, steady as a metronome. She gave them my iPod. She asked to be called back with a case number. She wrote it down and slid the sticky note to me like it was a tiny passport. What happens now? I asked. A social worker will call your mom to schedule a visit, she said. Maybe today. Maybe tomorrow. They'll want to see your space, talk to you alone, talk to your mom. They are not the enemy. Their job is to make sure your life isn't a set when it shouldn't be. What if my mom says I'm lying? She leveled me with a look. You brought evidence. And you brought me. What if she says I ruined everything? You didn't ruin anything, she said. You told the truth. If anything breaks because of that, it wasn't built right. I nodded. It felt like the first time my neck remembered how. Do you have someone else who can be with you if home feels hard tonight? She asked. An aunt, a neighbor? My friend Zoe's mom said I can always come over, I said. But Rachel doesn't like me leaving when we have a deliverable. Deliverables can wait, Ms. Alvarez said. I'll call Zoe's mom now, with your permission, and let her know there might be a need. I nodded again. The sticky note with the case number warmed in my palm. Eat something, she said softly, opening her drawer. And come back after the last bell. We'll check in. The butterscotch candy was stale and perfect. By third period, my phone, Rachel's business phone, buzzed like it had the flu. I didn't look. By lunch, the group chat for Harper Fam collabs was a siren. Gabe, Brand wants to up the ask. Add an apology bit, Emma can do, oops, I'm clumsy. Rachel, hold. Legal emailed. Need to check, minors plus permits. Gabe, we're fine. Internet is freedom. Rachel, CA isn't. They want Coogan account info plus work permits. Do we have those? Gabe, I'll find them. Rachel, no. We can't fake this. Reply, we're compliant. Then we become compliant by Friday. Emma, answer your phone. I put the phone face down on my tray. The cafeteria spaghetti tasted like distant tomatoes. Zoe plunked down across from me, eyeliner like armor. You good? She asked. I told Ms. Alvarez, I said. Her eyes widened. Relief and fear did a duet on her face. Okay, good. Scary good. I hate the part where it's scary, I said. Me too, she said. Come over if you need. My mom said she'll make noise in the kitchen if you want the living room quiet. I laughed. It sounded like me from last year. Thanks. Zoe looked at my hairline. You still have flour, she said softly, and picked a white fleck from my eyebrow like a sister would. At home the air crackled. The set was rebuilt into cozy fall, fake leaves, a plaid throw, a candle we're not supposed to light. Rachel stood at the island, typing on her laptop like it had personally offended her. Gabe paced. Liam sat on a stool with his feet not reaching the rung, banging a spoon against a mug. Where were you? Rachel asked without looking. School, I said. CPS called, she said. The air went thin. My lungs forgot the math of breathing. Okay. Her laugh had no cackle. You talked to Alvarez? You gave her video of our home? Do you want to be a foster care statistic? Do you want to lose this house? You want Liam to blame you for losing his baseball? Because that is where this goes. Gabe held up both hands. Let's not escalate. You escalated, Rachel snapped. You brought the state into my kitchen. It's our kitchen, I said. My voice surprised me by not breaking. And it's not a set. Rachel's eyes shimmered, not with tears. With effort. You have no idea how hard I work to keep us fed. I do, I said. You also have no idea how hard it is to be the punchline that pays for the groceries. Liam's spoon went silent. His eyes were moons. Gabe exhaled. Look, a social worker is coming to check on well-being, their words. We show them a tidy house. We show them happy kids. We show them the channel is a family business. We show permits. We show the Coogan account. We don't have one, Rachel said through teeth. Then we open one, he said. Today, we say we didn't realize. We apologize for any missteps. We promise guidelines. We promise parity. We promise Emma doesn't do anything she doesn't want. Rachel looked at me. Do you want to film? She asked, like a dare. I thought of the iPod and Ms. Alvarez's purple pen and the sticky note in my pocket like a hot stone. No, I said. Not today. Silence sucked the air out of the room. Gabe put his hand on Rachel's arm. She shook it off. Fine, she said. Liam, go practice your thank you speech. Emma, your room. And for the love of God, take off the face you use when you hate me. Social workers smell that. I went in my room and shut the door and thought about jumping, not from a window, but from a moving story into a still one. The iPod sat on my desk like a pact. I opened my notebook. What I feel? Buzzing, scared, steady. What I want? Someone to knock and not be a ring light. What I'll do? Answer. At 4 p.m., there was a knock. Not the performative rap Gabe uses when he wants energy. Not Rachel's rapid triple tap that means we're late. Not Liam's little drum. A normal knock. Quiet. Patient. Gabe yelled, I got it, from downstairs. Wait, Rachel hissed. Shoes off. Everyone shoes off. Liam, lose the hat. I opened my door. My legs did that deadwood feeling and then remembered they were mine. I walked to the stairs. At the bottom stood a woman in flats and a navy cardigan, hair in a low bun, smile that didn't show teeth. She held a folder and a tote with a state logo on it. No camera. No ring light. A regular pen. Hi, she said. They sat at the island. I hooked myself on the second stair, where I could see the ring light grin at the ceiling and Liam's shoe toes kissing the cabinet. Miss Chin opened her folder. Her pen made a small click. I saw videos where Emma is subjected to humiliation for clicks, food dumped on her head, jokes at her expense, scripted consequences. I also saw school hours used for filming. That combination is a problem. Rachel lifted her chin. She loves being on camera. I love not always being on camera, I said before I could catch the words. They landed with a tiny thud that made me proud and sick at the same time. Miss Chin nodded like she'd been waiting. Here's how we can proceed. 1. No filming Emma without her consent. Consent means she can say no and not be punished for it. No loss of meals, no silent treatment, no name calling, no threats about the house or family. 2. No content involving humiliation, injury, or staged mistakes. 3. School time is school time. 4. If there is paid content with Emma, you will get proper permits and set aside earnings in a blocked account as required by law. 5. Family counseling and a parenting class focused on digital ethics. 6. A safety plan in writing that I will upload and revisit. Gabe tried for a laugh. This is a little dramatic, don't you think? We're talking flour and smoothies. We're talking patterns, Miss Chin said, gently moving his words aside. Patterns change brains. And when audience expectations are part of the pattern, kids become products. The state does not allow that. Rachel's hands went flat on the counter. Do you know what groceries cost? What rent is in Sacramento? We are fine. We don't hit. We don't drink. We make videos. Great, Miss Chin said. Then it will be easy to change how you make them. Silence gathered and sat with us. Liam's voice came thin and brave. I can be the one who gets pranked, he said. If that helps. No, Miss Chin said softly. It doesn't help to move harm to another kid. Liam flushed. I don't want him to get in trouble. She's not in trouble, Miss Chin said. She told the truth. Rachel finally looked at me like I was a person, not a thumbnail. You could have come to me. I did, I said. I said no. You said deliverable. Her mouth trembled. I'm scared, she blurted, and the word cracked the room open. The views go down and brands ghost us and I don't know what else I can do. Learn, Miss Chin said. People do it every day. Rachel pressed her fingertips to her eyes, careful not to smear mascara. When she dropped her hands, her face was thinner. What's the safety plan? Miss Chin slid a form forward. We work it out together. Emma gets to speak first. All the future versions of myself crowded my throat. The quiet one, the angry one. I want my room to never be a set again, I said. I want school to be school. I want to approve anything with my face before it goes up. I want a day every week with no filming at all. I want no more spilled things. No more oops. And I want the videos where I cry taken down. Miss Chin wrote. Reasonable, she said. Rachel swallowed. We can do some of that. All of it, Miss Chin said. Or I take this to court and a judge does it for you. Gabe exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for a year. Okay, he said, not to me. Okay, Rachel said, looking at me, and I knew it cost her like money. Miss Chin turned to me. Anything else? My own login to school. Not the one that goes through Mom's email. The words surprised me, but they felt right in my mouth. And the mailbox key back. It's my library card. Rachel blinked. You notice everything, she said, almost like she'd meant it as a compliment. I live here, I said. Miss Chin smiled at that and printed neatly. Return mailbox key to Emma. She handed the pen to Rachel. Sign that you received this plan and agree. Rachel signed. Her signature looked like a different language than her voice. Gabe signed something too, a line that said acknowledged. Miss Chin turned to Liam. You can sign here, she said, to show you were in the room and your voice matters. Liam signed very carefully, tongue between teeth, like it was a quiz he wanted to pass. After, Miss Chin stood. I'll check in next week. If there's blowback, call me. If you post any video with Emma, email me first for a month so we can be sure it meets the plan. That's extreme, Rachel said. That's temporary, Miss Chin said. Good night. She left a slip of paper with numbers on the island. Then she left her comm behind like a blanket thrown across a messy bed. The house breathed. The ring light waited, unblinking. Nobody moved. Rachel picked up the mailbox key from a hook by the back door and set it in my palm. It felt like a medal for something I didn't enter. I don't know who I am without this channel, she said. You're my mom, I said. That's a start. Gabe looked small. We'll pivot, he said, to no one and everyone. Recipes. Home repair. Liam's baseball. No kids on camera. We can figure it out. Rachel rubbed her temples. Take down the crying ones, she said to Gabe. Tonight. Liam shuffled. Can I go to Zoe's? He asked me quietly, like I ran the neighborhood. Her mom said she made brownies. You can, Rachel said before I did, and her voice was the soft one I remembered from before sponsors. Emma, too, if you want. I want to be here, I said. I meant it. I wanted to see the ring light go to sleep. Liam slid into sneakers and into the night, sunlight's aftertaste still in the air. Gabe went to the office to schedule a "we're taking a pause" post. Rachel stood at the island and looked at her hands. I'm sorry, she said. It wasn't a performance one. It had no glide. Not for everything, because I'm proud of some of it. For the parts that hurt you. That's a lot of parts, I said. It wasn't a knife. It was a map. I know, she said. I want to try anyway. We did not hug. We stood near the same counter, strangers on the same side of a thing. Later, when the house was quiet, I carried the ring light to the garage. It hissed a little when it bumped the door jamb, like a pet that hadn't decided whether to love me anymore. I leaned it against the wall and put a towel over it. Not forever. For now. Upstairs, I opened my notebook. What I feel, tired, taller, real. What I want, a Sunday without thumbnails. What I'll do, learn the sound of a house without an audience. At 9 p.m., Rachel posted a black text box on a pink background that said, taking a breather to put family first. See you soon. There were hearts and hands and a few angry faces. Comments poured like rain we hadn't had in months. I didn't read them. At 10, my phone buzzed with a message from Ms. Alvarez. Proud of you. I'm here. Then from Ms. Chin. Safety plan filed. You're brave. At 11, the porch was just a porch. The neighbor's trumpet had learned a whole song. I sat on the top step and let the cool find my skin. Inside, Rachel washed cups by hand because the dishwasher is too loud for sleep. I could hear the soft clink of glass, the rhythm of a person who is trying. And me, I listened. To water, to night bugs, to my own chest rising and falling without being told where to be. A month later, the ring light is still sleeping under a towel in the garage. The towel smells like dryer sheets and surrender. Saturday morning is regular light, Sacramento sun through the blinds, dust dancing, the AC humming like an old chorus. Our NO filming weekends note is taped to the fridge with a magnet from the Tower Bridge. Under it, the safety plan MS. Chin typed up, highlighted, initialed, not just decor. Rachel flips pancakes in a pan that hasn't appeared on the channel once. Blueberries, she asks. As long as they're not on my head, I say. She winces, then nods. Fair. There's a knock, not performative. Miss Chin, cardigan and flats, clipboard tucked in her tote like a polite secret. Monthly check-in, she says, warm but official. 15 minutes? We sit at the table, no backdrop, no X made of tape for my elbows. She glances at the fridge. Consent, no humiliation. School is school, she reads softly. How's it going? Hard, Rachel answers before I can. But we're doing it. Miss Chin turns to me. Emma? I haven't been on camera, I say. At all. I got my own school login. And the mailbox key. I pull it up on its lanyard. Gabe appears from the hallway with a folder, looking like he hasn't slept in a week and also like he might cry in a bank. Open, he says. We put a percentage of all kid-related revenue in a blocked trust. Retroactive. The bank lady explained it 3 times. Rachel rubs her forehead. We posted a pivot video, she adds. It's just me now. Recipes and repairs. She laughs a little at the word. Mostly repairs. Miss Chen's smile reaches her eyes. That's what accountability looks like, not perfect, but specific. She clicks her pen. Any incidents? Blowback? Silence does a small lap around the table. One, I say. Brand emailed a back-to-school haul with a bonus, if the kids were in it. I nod at Rachel, said we could do it without my face. Just my hands. Rachel swallows. I said it and I meant it for about 4 minutes. I pick at a crumb. She put the camera on the counter. The light in the garage, it sounded awake in my head. I said no. I look at Miss Chin. She turned the camera around and filmed herself talking about why we weren't doing hauls with kids anymore. Ms. Chin writes, redirected content. That's a skill, she says. What about school, Emma? I passed algebra, I say, trying to act like it's not confetti in my chest. Ms. Alvarez wrote, you sound like you on my essay. May I speak with you alone for 2 minutes? Miss Chin asks me. We step onto the porch. The neighborhood dog is snoring into the hedge again, like someone taught him mindfulness. Tell me the truth, she says. Any name calling? Silent treatment? Threats about the house? No, I say. We had a day where she didn't talk much because a brand pulled out. But then she said sorry. Not a YouTube sorry. A kitchen one. Okay, Miss Chin says. I'm closing this out as plan in place, monitoring ongoing. I'll still check in next month. You can call me sooner if anything slips. She leaves a new card with the same number. Inside, Rachel is washing the pancake pan by hand because the dishwasher chips the nonstick. She dries her hands and meets us at the table. You passed algebra, she says to me, voice a little wobbly. We're celebrating tonight. With no camera, I say. Obviously, she says, and we both hear how that word used to mean something else. Sunday, no thumbnails. We go to a bakery we used to only tag in captions. The cashier recognizes Rachel, but not as a channel, just as a person who orders croissants and says please. We sit by the window and eat butter like it's new. At the library, I use my key. The little thunk of the box opening is the best sound in Sacramento. There's mail for me, a flyer for the teen writing workshop and a postcard from Zoe with a doodle of a ring light wearing a sleeping mask. Proud of you, E. Back home, Liam watches a game on TV with the sound low. He used to narrate for the camera, now he narrates for himself. Inside, me too, I say. In the afternoon, Rachel hauls a toolbox from the garage and records a voiceover for a faucet fix. No faces. Just hands and close-ups of washers and O-rings. Jump cuts are your friend, Gabe says from behind the lens. It's funny, they look more like a team now that the score isn't us. At 5, the email arrives, subject line all caps, brand color loud. Need one last family video. Big offer. Gabe reads it and visibly fights an old reflex. It's a lot, he says quietly. Rachel holds the phone like it might bite, then sets it face down on the counter. It's also a trap, she says. She looks at me. What do you think? I think if we do one last, there's another last after that, I say. Like when you hit snooze and call it waking up. Rachel nods. Delete, she says to Gabe. He does. We cook pasta. I spill milk, real life, unscripted, unmonetized. It makes a galaxy on the floor. Rachel reaches for paper towels, then for me. Leave it, she says softly. We're not filming. We laugh. It sounds like a new show, the part where nothing is content. Monday at school, Ms. Alvarez catches me in the hall. You feel different, she says, not as a compliment, but as a measurement. Lighter. I'm still scared sometimes, I admit. When the door knocks. That's normal, she says. Safety isn't the absence of fear, it's knowing what to do when you feel it. She slips me a flyer for the writing workshop. I want to hear your story if you ever want to share it. Or keep it just yours. That's also an option. At lunch, Zoe and I sit under the one tree that pretends to be shade. My mom says you can come over Friday, she says. We're doing a screen-free night. She already hid the remotes like a raccoon. Sounds perfect, I say. That night, the house sounds like itself. Forks, faucet, somebody humming 2 rooms away. The towel in the garage still covers the ring light. On my desk, my old iPod sleeps in a drawer I can open or not. In my notebook. What I feel, lighter, still wary, true. What I want, more Sundays like this. What I'll do, keep the key open doors, not feeds. Rachel stops at my door, not knocking, just there. I booked a therapist, she blurts. For me. To learn how to be a mom without metrics. That's good, I say, and mean it. And I took down the crying videos, she adds, as if she's handing me something she can't carry. All of them. Thank you, I say. She leans on the frame, older and softer. Do you want to come with me to the bakery next weekend? No content. Just us. Yes, I say. But we're splitting a croissant. I don't want you doing sponsored cardio after. She laughs, the kitchen kind again. Deal. Good night, Em. Good night, Mom. When the lights go out, the house breathes a plain, beautiful breath. The audience is